Shalom. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahushai Ba'asham, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Kiam. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahushai Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in this time. And so, like about my voice, man, I just woke up trying to get this video in, okay, before work. So, you saw the clip at the beginning, and I'm still on this topic, which is basically going into the state visit that the president of Nigeria and a few other government officials had in the UK, and they had a dinner with King Charles III, right, which is the new king of England, that damn devil. Okay, and hey, let me just get the precept. Let me just get the precepts. Psalm 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And this is how Esau operates, man, because you can see, what he was saying about Jake, or these Nigerian Jakes are contributing so much to British society. And I recently had a dinner with some of them. That bitch ass posh accent, right? Trying to make it seem as though, Nigeria and the UK have such a great relationship, right? Damn devil. But this is how, like I said, this is just how Esau operates. That's why I got this preset first, okay? And let me go and get another one real quick. But before I do that, I'm just going to go into a few things first. But yeah, he's out here, using smooth words, okay? Out here using, the spirit of deception that he has, which is in the tongue, okay? But that is of course not the case, because we know exactly how, and you as a we as a people, right, we the men of the Lord already know exactly how Esau Edom feels about our people. But the thing is that Jakes, especially Jakes here in Nigeria, they still don't know, man. They see King Charles talking and they're like, oh, they still love Esau so much, right? But these are the same devils that are all over the UK right now protesting immigrants, or keep the UK white, right? Guys like Tommy Robinson, guys like Sargon of Akkad, all these quote unquote alt right Edomite men, right? Constantly speaking against immigrants coming into the UK, and this devil knows all about that, right? But he'll pretend as though, and it's the same thing with Babylon, man. They'll pretend as though, they are so welcoming, right? They are so, they want immigrants to come in and all that. Oh, we just want, in Babylon is, we just want the legal ones, right? But even though ISIS, the kidnapping, deporting, and even murdering legal immigrants, even if you're out there with your papers, they are still picking you up and taking you to actual black sites. And you know what a black site is, man? Let's go into that because that's prophecy right there. Because you'll have some brothers that will actually be taken to these black sites, man. Black sites. This is right here. Black sites are clandestine, state-operated detention centers used to hold uncharged prisoners without due process, bail, or legal recourse, often involving mistreatment. And this is your truth, justice, and this is how Israel operates. Damn it! This is your truth, justice, and the American way. These devils will scream about due process, right? About justice, right? But they have full black sites, and everybody knows about this. That these are different alphabet organizations, your CIA, your FBI, so on and so forth, are operating actual black sites. They take you there, and it's as though you never existed. You just straight up disappear, and nobody hears from you again, right? And this is how once again, this is how Esau Edom operates, an unjust devil, man. So let's keep going into it. Primarily associated with U.S. Central Intelligence Agency's detention and interrogation program post 9/11, these facilities operated outside the public eye and legal constraints. Right? But Esau come out and act as though, oh no, that has come out and act as though, oh no, we love these immigrants. We just want to, and it's all deception, man. Anything that's coming out of these devils' mouths, is a lie, right? And it's the same with everything that King Charles was saying there. Just because the Nigerians came in, they're trying to basically cozy up to you jigs out here, man, because let's get that precept next. Okay, that should be the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter, and that's really what this video is all about, right? So let's get it right here. So this is the real quick Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You can't listen to what these devils say, man. Just watch their actions. You know, like this King Charles, and he's a major devil, man. He's a big devil, alright. Because you can even speak about all the wickedness that the UK continues to do and did to not only to the Nigerian people, man, straight up, right? These devils, especially this free class royal family, man, and how much they've enriched themselves from the suffering and the oppression of our people, right? Let me quickly go and get something on the Google. I think it was did Nigeria pay reparations to the UK for independence, and when was the last pay? Well, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like when I said in my previous video about how all these leaders that are out here, all these political figures are all puppets, right? Set up by Esau Edom, and that's what they usually go to these foreign countries, the UK and so on and so forth, to do to get their marching orders, man. What they'll do next, what policies they'll allow to get passed, right? Because the real policy makers aren't even in Aso Rock or even here in Nigeria. The real policy makers are in Babylon, right? They are in London, in the UK. Those are the ones that are pushing and creating the policies that are basically that you jigs are basically suffering through right now, right? Because you think these presidents, these leaders out here care enough to be even doing or creating all these different ass policies that are destroying our people. All they are puppets, man, set up in order to. Okay, let's see this. Okay, yeah. So this is right here. Nigeria did not pay reparations to the UK upon achieving independence in 1960, but I know that there was a payment that the Nigerian government did make, whether it was basically in order to compensate. But you know what? I'll look it up later. Instead, Nigeria is currently seeking reparations from the UK for colonial damages. Recent legal actions include a 2026 Nigerian court ruling ordering the UK to pay 420 million euros compensation for colonial era killings, right? You know, the Aba women's riots, the massacre of the coal miners in Enugu State, right? Different times during the colonial era, and this is after the transatlantic slave trade, of course, where these devils, right, not only their carelessness, because Esau is an incompetent ruler, right, but also in their wickedness had killed so many of our people in their need for resource extraction, how they still do, right? But of course, you never talk about that. Your quote unquote Christian genocide in Nigeria, and all that is just for easier access to the mineral resources. And these devils have a lot to pay for, right? But during their state visit, they were talking about some bullshit about how much they love immigrants and jollof rice, and that's just an insult to our people, man. All the harm that they have caused, or the wickedness that they have done to our people, and the only thing they can think to discuss is just pop culture references and all that pop culture references. The little actual knowledge you have on Nigeria as a whole, right? And Jake is still falling for this shit, man. Jake is still falling for this shit. Okay, so yeah, it is. And this is what I was talking about, right? So key aspects of Nigeria UK reparations context. Active demand. In late 2025, Nigerian authorities formally demanded 5 trillion in reparations, $5 trillion in reparations from the UK for colonial, economic, and cultural damage. I didn't really want to talk about it because it's pointless at the end of the day, right? But even the artifacts that the Nigerian government stole from the various Nigerian tribes here in Nigeria, the artifacts they stole when they raised the Benin Kingdom, right, and the different kingdoms, the Oyo Empire, the Dahomey, which has borders in Nigeria as well, actually, and so on and so forth, right? And you have jigs and these different NGOs and conservation organizations all over Africa that are demanding these artifacts back. Okay, so yeah, even JK in Nigeria is demanding reparations, right, from these devils, and of course, Esau is never going to pay that back, okay, because they believe that yeah, because these devils are proud as hell, right? So he said all this about our collaborations and how Nigerians are excelling in the UK, but why are Nigerians migrating to the UK so much? Why are there so many? Why are there so many Nigerians in the UK, right? And it's because of the exploitation, right? And we already know all this, man. The oppression that these devils have put upon our people to the point where for the most part, man, to an extent, right? A lot of Jakes have to leave this country just to find a better life, right? That's what that's all about. So yeah, continuing on. 1949 Eva Valley mine killings. As February 2026 ruling by the Enugu High Court in Nigeria ordered the UK to pay 20 million euros to each of the 21 families of the miners killed in the 1949 during a colonial era protest. And they just, hey, Esau is a damn devil, man. This is what I'm talking about. The Enugu miners that were killed, right? They were protesting because I don't think it needs to be explained how Esau runs these mines. You look no further than the Congo, Botswana, all these different places, blood diamonds and the like, right? And these devils, these damn devils, man, they were pretending as if they no longer do that anymore. They do, they 100% still do, man. Using children, right? Using manual labor, right? Underpaying the actual miners that are risking life and limb, right? Um, they're not giving them the proper resources to actually mine. So they are mining barehanded, no technology, no, even just trucks meant to load up the minerals and move it, and move it and ship it over to the border where they're going to refine it. They don't even get that, man. These devils have put our people through it again. So yeah, UK position. The UK government has consistently rejected such reparations claims, focusing instead on modern partnerships. Right, the same thing these devils always say. Oh, that was a long time ago. Colonization was, that was a long time ago. 1949 was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. 1949 was a long time ago, right? And 4 years before that, 1949, right? That situation from with the small hearts, it's still, everybody still has to remember that, right? It's still something that is being pushed as a horrific event, and oh, you can't even talk about it. You have to talk about it with a level of levity because of how serious it was, right? But the things that happened to our people, the oppression of our people under the hands of the United Kingdom, that was a long time ago. This is how this damn devil, man, this damn devil, right? This damn devil. And you can't trust Esau when he's opening his mouth, because these devils are being deceitful. But hey, as the scriptures say, man, there is no enchantment against Jacob. So Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. And that's how you know, right? And the UK government is in the same in the same is standing in the same what's I'm trying to think, I think of it, is one with its people, right? The UK government is one with its people, and they hate you jakes, man. They hate you jakes, and the only reason why immigration they even allow you jakes to even immigrate to the UK is just to use your labor to enrich themselves, right? Immigrant workers, cheap labor, okay, is your cheap labor the same oppression, the same exploitation that Esau has been doing on our people for centuries, and he continues to do it to this day. But of course, Jake won't care because they are seeing more money than actually that because they are being seeing more. They think they are being paid more money than their ancestors, man. Because that's the only thing that matters in the minds of our people. That's why the scriptures say that money is the root of all evil. Exactly, the love of money is the root of all evil, that men pierce themselves through with many sorrows. Okay, and I'm going to get that next, but let's keep going. Yeah, I've already gotten the main point. I've already gotten the main point. Anyway, let me go into that next. Right, the love of money, because that's what is blinding our people, right? Because you think that we are making money under these devils, you are living a quote unquote better life under the under these devils, right? But hey, that's how the two sets think. That's the two third mindset, right? That as long as they can live peacefully in their own mind in Esau's kingdom. What you don't understand is that there is no living peacefully in Esau's kingdom. Micah 2 verse 10, right? This is not the rest of our people, because this is not a righteous kingdom, okay? And of course, even the most so and also let even go into the fact that these devils, right? And I'm sure King Charles knows that that our people, that they are people, that we are the Israelites, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the scattered Israelites that are scattered around the four corners of the earth. But he will continue to use the bywords and proverbs on our people and call us Nigerians, right? In order to keep you still under that snare, under that byword and proverb. So this is the book of under that byword and proverb, to still make you think that you are actually Nigerians and no more than that. But hey, Jake is waking up, man. So First Timothy 6 verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, while some coveted after have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, right? Because Jake thinks that just because they are making this money in the UK, right, from the migrant work they are doing, right, making more money than they would in here in Nigeria and living a better life than here in Nigeria. Of course, 100% they are. Let's not even pretend about that, right? But we're talking about quality rather than quantity, right? You are still a captive in Esau's kingdom. You are still under the rule of the wicked at the end of the day, right? And that's why, even with all that wealth, right, even with that better life, right, our people are still, Jake is still going through it, right? The curses are still tearing Jake up, right? Because there is no what I'm looking for, right? There is no remedy for the curses outside of this truth, outside of returning to the Heavenly Father, the Most High, Yahweh Bashan, Yahweh. And that's the spirit, right? That's the spirit right there. GMS Adawan Hawad. Remember, Jake earned this ass whooping. That's the spirit right there. That's what we're going into, right? The curses that are put upon our people, and of course, as we already know and as we should know, that the curses are 100% self-inflicted. Okay, it is because of the disobedience of our people and getting exactly our just deserts. Okay, what we deserve as a people, right? So these devils, man, Esau is the damn devil, right? And as the scriptures say, man, as the judge of a people, as the judge is, so are the people that are under them. And us, I was some of the outcome today, and we were actually going into this. That look at what Esau is doing all over Nigeria, all over this country, man. Look at what Esau is doing to Jake, right? Jake is out here, zombies, man. And the outcome was seeing it, man. Jake is out here. Jake and Nigeria are completely zombified. They're all zombies, man. You know, completely destroyed, right? And this is of course because of the completely destroyed. This is of course, let's get this first, right? The lack of wisdom. Hosea 4 verse 16. Okay, because let's get everything in its full context. Okay, so like Hosea 4 verse 6. Hosea 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that's what's killing Jake the most, right? The lack of knowledge. And what is the reason why? Our people don't seem to have that knowledge, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. Because when I say knowledge, right, that's exactly what I'm referring to. Okay, and that's because at the end of the day, man, only the elect of the nation of Israel are able to receive this, right? So they don't have that knowledge because the Spirit is not dealing with them. Okay, and they cannot even hope to gain that knowledge, right? Because Esau, the damn devil that he is, right, has made the righteous sit in has made the righteous sit in a low place, right? Folly is set in great dignity, and the righteous sit in a low place. Has made any form of righteousness in this kingdom, right? Esau Edom continues to demonize it, and that's why you see the men of the Lord are seen as all manner of things, right? Persecuted, okay, and reviled by all manner of men, because we have the 100% truth of the Most High. However, but yeah, Jake is destroyed because they have no knowledge, right? That's why Esau is so able to turn the heads of our people and deceive our people with all these charades, all this political theater, right? Keep our people completely keep our people completely in this dead state, man. So yeah, Hosea 4 verse 6. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. And that is how our people fell under the curses right there. Okay, the lack of knowledge. That's what I was going into. That's when lack of knowledge, right? Jake doesn't even know that. Jake doesn't even know who their enemies are, man. Jake doesn't even know that Esau, this devil is not your friend, man. This devil is your enemy, right? But Esau will come out and talk about some jollof rice and some Afro beats, speak a little pidgin, right? Maybe say a few words in Jake's native tongue. Kedu, kedu, aduma, like that, and Jake will completely fall for it, right? Jake will be like, because and Jake, Jake's because just I'll just say straight up, man. Jake sees Esau as their god. Let's go and get that precept. Let's go and get that precept. And that's how it is for our people, especially here in Nigeria. John 8 verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And these devils are always on some deception, right? And King what's his face, Charles, right? They should be looking up his name in the Epstein files, man. But yeah. They should be okay. I lost my train of thought here. Yeah. They should be looking up his name in the Epstein files, because he's suspicious as hell, right? And this is how our people feel about Esau, and because these are how people feel about Esau. That these damn devils, right? They are a father to our people. Jake looks up to them. If only we could be like the so-called white man, and if only we could act like the so-called white man, and the so-called white man's Christianity and all that. That's why Jake here in Nigeria is so engrossed in wacky-tacky plantation Christianity, because they are through, man. Hey, we already know what the scriptures say, man. Two-thirds of our people are through, man. Completely done. All right, through. Yeah, so let me end it right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Basham Rakakwadash. Wa abad babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you are come and you are quite edified. Shalom.